but we're not judging each other here, right? Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Casey. I am so happy you are joining me today because today I'm going to be doing the makeup tag that's been going around on YouTube, the top 3 favorites in each makeup category. I believe it was started by Jamie Page, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've really been enjoying watching those videos myself and wanted to participate. I am extra excited because I decided I'm going to turn this into a little bit of a series. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 3 makeup products within each category, but I also plan to make videos, one for skincare and also one for hair care. Definitely focused on products for thin, fine hair because that's what I've got going on here. I will have timestamps in the description box for each makeup category so you can jump around and watch the portions of the video that are most interesting to you. If that is of interest to you, I hope that you hit that subscribe button and enjoy this video. Hey guys, I apologize for the interruption.
However,
after a few hours of filming, I ended up with 2.5 hours of footage, which resulted in a video that was going to be well over an hour. And so for your time's sake, I decided to split the video into 2. So the video that you are watching now is part 1, in which I'll be sharing all of my complexion products, and part 2, I will be doing all of my eye and lip products. And just for my own personal reference, I would love to hear from you down below. Would you have preferred I kept this as one long video, even if that meant the video was over an hour long, or do you prefer the fact that I split it into 2 shorter videos? So I would love to know which type you prefer. All right, I will let you get back to this video. I hope you enjoy. Preparing for this video was so much harder than I anticipated. I actually rewrote my list 3 different times, so we're just gonna go with this one because, as they say, third one's a charm. So let's start with primers. Generally, when I am using a primer, it's usually something that's going to give me a glowy base because I do have dry skin and I love luminosity. So my priming type products are just that. They're products that are going to give you some luminosity. So my very first primer is one of my tried and true long loves. This is the Wander Beauty Catch the Light Highlighter and Glotion. I have just a smidge bit left in here and I'm too afraid to use it because I'm the type that won't use the last or eat the last of anything because of the fear of being without. So anyway, this is a dual purpose type product. This tip end is a cream type highlighter that you apply directly to your skin. My favorite is the actual cream highlight in here. When I use this, I will either apply it to my face before my foundation product or I'll mix it right in with my foundation. Or sometimes I'll even wear it alone. It just gives your skin this beautiful glow. There's no shimmer or sparkle to it. It just makes your skin look glowy and healthy, and it's so beautiful. I love it so much. I've repurchased it 2 or 3 times now. I'm gonna have to break down and repurchase it again, but it is one of my favorites. Next, I have the NYX High Glass Face Primer. I believe they have 2 or 3 shades available. I use the shade Moonbeam. This is very, very similar to the Wander Beauty Catch the Light in the way that it gives your skin this luminosity. I do feel the NYX High Glass is a bit more shimmery, a bit more reflective, a bit more illuminating than the Catch the Light lotion. This one gives you that nice natural finish, and I don't mind wearing this one alone. However, this one I feel it's a bit too much to be worn alone. So this one is one that I will mix right in with my foundation and apply, but it does give your skin just this really pretty glow. And my third priming product, this is new to me. I believe I've mentioned in a few videos prior that I'm on the hunt for the perfect SPF, and I might have found it. This is the Verdio UV Moisture Gel SPF of 50.
Holy moly.
I wish so badly that I would have caught on camera my very first reaction the first time that I used this. I applied it right after my skincare, and then I went about kind of doing stuff around the house while everything dried down, and I came back to start my makeup, and the luminosity, the glow this gave my skin absolutely made my jaw drop. It was borderline almost too much, only because I wasn't expecting it. I've never experienced that sort of glow from using a sunscreen. If anything, I hate wearing sunscreen because of the way it makes my skin look and feel just like heavy and chalky-like. This went on so smooth. It didn't feel like any sunscreen I've ever tried before. And again, the glow that it gave my skin was out of this world, and it works as a beautiful primer, illuminating primer underneath your foundation. I purchased mine on YesStyle. I believe it was $15. I did have to wait about a month or so for delivery, which is expected through Yes Style, but well worth the wait. I'm very excited to continue using this. I'm very excited to have an SPF that I'm actually excited to use. Highly recommend if you are looking for a good sunscreen, and a bonus, a glowing face primer. Next, let's talk about foundations, and I hesitate to use the word foundation because I'm definitely someone who much prefers a tinted moisturizer, BB cream, something with a more natural finish, lighter feel to it. So if you align with that yourself, I think you'll like the picks that I have to share with you here. The first one here is the NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. This is my first time trying it, and I've hardly used anything else since purchasing it about 2 or 3 months ago.
It's beautiful.
It's perfect. It is the right amount of coverage for what I'm looking for. It doesn't feel heavy. It's very thin in consistency. It blends out nicely. It does provide actually a decent amount of coverage. I haven't ever had issues with it being flaky. As I mentioned, I do have dry skin. This is a beautiful product. And as a bonus, it's not terribly expensive. I believe this is maybe $10, $12, $8, depending on where you purchase it. I went with shade 05 Light, and I think it's a decent match. I've had great experiences with all of the NYX Born to Glow products thus far, so highly recommend this one. Next, this one is also newer to me. I was so intrigued. Let me start over. I have been dabbling with Korean skincare lately. I love it. I've had great experiences with every product that I've tried thus far. Specifically the skincare products with snail mucin extract, being that I do have dry skin and somewhat sensitive skin. I was curious about this specific product. It happened to pop up on my Amazon recommendations. It is the Mizon Snail Repair Intensive BB Cream. I mean, everything about this product I was immediately attracted to. It's a BB cream, the fact that it has snail mucin extract in it, so it's got the skincare benefits, the SPF of 50, and it's a Korean complexion product. I know Jessica Braun loves the Misha BB cream. Taylor Wynn has been raving about the Perito BB cream. So, you know, I was very intrigued to try a Korean complexion product. I took the plunge. I went for it. I think it was $10, and oh my gosh, I really, really like it. The shade isn't perfect. When I first put it on, it was quite alarming because it is very gray toned, very light, but as it dries down, it blends out beautifully and it seems to adjust nicely to my skin tone. I am curious to try maybe the Perito next time or the Misha BB cream, only because this product formulation is very thick. You don't need a ton of it. It's not as enjoyable to rub into the skin. However, it performs beautifully on the skin. It looks beautiful. My skin tolerates it so very well. And again, I love the fact that there's skincare in here. I love the fact that there's SPF. I had to include this in here because I'm very, very pleasantly surprised, and I'm very excited to continue on my journey with the Korean complexion products, whether I end up repurchasing this one when this one runs out or trying the Misha or the Perito one. But as of right now, I've really, really been enjoying this. Lastly, this one is definitely more of a full coverage actual foundation. This is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Long Wear Foundation and Concealer. Coming from someone who does not enjoy full coverage foundation, I love this. This is the only foundation, full coverage foundation I have ever purchased full size. I first received this as a tiny little sample in my Ipsy bag, and I loved it dearly to the very last drop, and as soon as I ran out, I found myself missing it because every once in a while, I do like something with more full coverage. I do have freckles, I have some scarring, I have some imperfections that I do like to have concealed, and this just checks all the right boxes for me. It covers, it's not too cakey, it's not too heavy, it blends beautifully, it performs well, it's long lasting, it's all the things that I love in a complexion product. I also sometimes will mix a drop in with a tinted moisturizer for just a little bit more coverage. So if you're like me and you much prefer the lighter weight tinted moisturizer type products, but maybe you're looking for something with a little bit more coverage, I cannot recommend this one enough. Next, let's dive into concealers. First up, this one should come at no surprise if you've been watching my channel. I have the Undone Beauty Conceal to Reveal Concealer Palette. I am the shade 430 Buttercream Medium Light. I purchased this probably a year and a half ago, and I have just only recently hit pan. I don't know how sanitary that is because it's an open palette, but we're not judging each other here, right? Mine is very beaten up. The lid has broken. This has been through it because I love it so stinking much. This concealer is divided into 3 rows. The top row is meant to provide lighter coverage, the middle row is medium coverage, and the bottom row is supposed to be high coverage. I love this concealer so much because it's so creamy, it's so nice to my dry skin. It's also very brightening, it blends out beautifully. It provides a great amount of coverage, especially, as I've said, if you are someone who enjoys more lighter coverage complexion products. This provides the next level of coverage for spot concealing and under eye darkness if that's what you're looking for. Anyway, I cannot recommend this one enough. Next, I have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I am the shade Light 40N. This has been an interesting journey. I didn't love this at all when I first got it, but I recently whipped this out and have been using it almost every day, and I don't know what's changed. I don't know why I like it so much more now, so much so that it's in a top 3 video.
I have no idea.
I kind of wonder if it's because it's summertime right now and I have a little bit of a natural tan, and you know, my dark spots, my under eye darkness isn't as visible, as noticeable as it is in the wintertime. So we'll see. It is the first day of fall here today, and unfortunately here in Minnesota, winter will be here before we know it. Probably this weekend, who knows. But as of right now, I really have been liking it. This doesn't do anything extraordinary. It's not super full coverage, but it is very creamy. It is very lightweight. It does a decent job covering the under eyes. Days when I'm just doing minimal makeup, this is just the one that I reach for because it just checks all the basic boxes, if you will. Lastly, I have the Kokie Be Bright Illuminating Concealer. I have the shade 62 Light. In terms of brightening concealers, I feel like this is very underrated. I don't hear anyone ever talking about this concealer. In fact, I think the only person I've ever heard rave about it was Teresa is Dead here on YouTube, and I just gave her an air high five because I was like, yeah girl, you found it. I love you even more now because we bond over this great concealer. This is really nice if you're looking for a brightening medium coverage concealer. It's got a little bit of an apricot peachy undertone, so that brightening effect is there. As I said, it provides a decent amount of coverage. When winter hits here in Minnesota, my skin starts to look very sallow and sad looking, and this just does a really nice job of just kind of lifting and brightening everything up. And it's affordable product and it performs as advertised. Next, let's talk about bronzers. I don't know that I have a favorite bronzer formula. The 3 that I have to share with you have been my tried and true for a while, but I don't know that they're my definitive favorites. I just have not yet found a bronzer that I like lust after. I've heard other YouTubers say that when they do their bronzer, it just like up levels their makeup look. It kind of ties everything together. I feel that way when I do my mascara. I have yet to find a bronzer that makes me feel that way. So any recommendations for me, I greatly welcome. But I do have a few here that I really enjoy. The first one being the Benefit Hoola Bronzer, you know, tried and true. I'm sure this is nothing new here. I do have the original, and then I have the light shade. I really thought that the light was gonna be like No Way Jose. It looks way too light, but it actually works very well, especially when I'm not self-tanned. Both of these, I'm sure you've heard people talk about them before, if not having tried them yourself, but I much prefer a matte bronzer, and both of these fit that bill. The pigmentation is there, they're not too warm, they blend out nicely, you know, not much more I can say about the OG Hoola Benefit Bronzer. Secondly, I have the e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. I have 2 of them here. I have the shade Tan Lines and the shade Feelin' Shady. This product has gotten really mixed reviews, and to be fair, I think most people don't love it because it fades quickly, and I do find that to be true. However, I have a very specific usage for this, and so I will take my e.l.f. Putty Blush brush and I will put some to sort of contour first. And so I'll put some here along my forehead. I'll chisel out my cheekbones a little bit. I usually put some along my jawline, and then I go in with a powder bronzer. And I find that when I do that, it sort of locks in this product to make it longer lasting. Never had issues with mixing it with a powder bronzer on top, but that's how I find I'm able to get a little bit more longevity with this, and I like the contouring effect that this has. I've really enjoyed using this product, so much so that I went out and purchased a second because I wanted to have a shade for when I'm not self-tan. And my last bronzer product, this was a little bit of a cheat because it could also fit into the face priming category, but I thought that it'd be best fitting in the bronzer category because this does have a tint to it. This is the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. Again, an older product, one I'm sure you've heard other people rave about, if not having tried it yourself, but this is new to me this summer, and oh, it was a splurge. It sure was a splurge. One of my friends loves this product, has been raving about it for as long as I've known her, and so I finally took the plunge and tried it, and unfortunately I really love it too. With this product, the good thing is that a drop is a lot. I will usually mix this right in with my foundation, just a drop or two, because this can have a very deepening effect to your complexion. This gives your skin just this beautiful bronze tan glow. It's great to mix in with just your face moisturizer if you're going for a no makeup look. I have not used it alone. My friend that recommended this to me will very often go in after doing her complexion products and use it sort of as like a cream bronzer. I have not yet experimented with that. It kind of freaks me out a little bit because this is so pigmented. I really do enjoy this, and I really love the aspect of the skincare benefits this has. So yes, it is very expensive. You can probably get a very similar effect with a drugstore product. You know, the NYX High Glass gives you that very healthy skin illuminating glow, but I really do like that this makes your skin look bronzed and healthy and glowy. Oh, it is a very beautiful product, which really hurts my frugal heart because I really do enjoy using it. Next, let's talk about blush. I don't have a favorite blush, much like bronzer. It doesn't excite me the same way other makeup categories do, but the few that I have here have been tried and true for a while. The first one is an oldie but a goodie. It's the Milani Luminoso blush. I normally don't like luminous cheek products because I like going in with highlighter and glowy products towards the end of my makeup routine, but this is so beautiful, especially in the summertime on bronzy tan skin, and just a must-have always in my makeup collection. It gets used quite a bit. I also find that it's very flattering with my blue eyes and on my skin tone, just one of my absolute favorites. Second, I have the Essence The Blush. I first purchased the shade Befitting. I love this shade. This shade is like the perfect pinky mauve shade for my skin tone. Once I tried this and fell in love with this color, I wanted to try a few of their other colors, so I purchased the shade Bespoke. I don't love it as much as Befitting, and it's not the color. When I opened it up, I was a little bit disappointed because it looks like there's a little bit of like shimmer in it. However, when I put it on my cheeks, it doesn't look shimmery, but there's just something about this formula in this color that isn't the same as this one. So I want to mention the Essence The Blush, but I guess I'm going to be specific and say the shade Befitting because I'm not as in love with Bespoke as I am with Befitting. The price is just a bonus because this is just a good blush in general, but it's just a beautiful, the perfect pinky mauve type color to really give your cheeks this beautiful natural looking flush. And lastly, for the blush category, this is a little bit cheating, but I really don't have any other blushes to recommend to you. Unfortunately, this is not going to be appealing to some of you, but I had to mention it. The Estate Cosmetics Bailey Sarian Venice Fling eyeshadow palette, I don't think it's available anymore, but I was very fortunate in that I received it in an Ipsy bag last summer. That palette was so beautiful. I did end up depotting that palette, and I put the 3 matte shades in here, and like this is like my everyday depotted matte palette that I've created for myself, but these 3 shades right here were in the Venice Fling palette, and I love them on my eyes, but I especially love them as complexion products, as cheek products. This shade right here is like the perfect contour shade. This peachy shade is the most beautiful bright peach blush to give your cheeks this just beautiful cute blush. In this warmer brown tone mauve shade here, again, it's just a beautiful blush. I love all 3 of these on my cheeks and probably use them more on my cheeks than I do my eyes. I had to mention it because this is the only other cheek product that I use in addition to the previous 2 that I showed you. And if you happen to have the Venice Fling palette or happen to find it on sale, try these 3 shades on your cheeks because they're just beautiful. All right, guys, we are getting down there. Let's cover highlighter next. I also had a hard time with this one because highlighter is much like eyeshadow, and that highlighter is one of those makeup products that really makes my heart skip a beat. I get so excited by highlighters, and I could not narrow it down to 3 to save my life. And so I had to split it into 2 mini categories. So I've got cream highlighters and 3 powder highlighters to share with you. Let's talk about the powder highlighters first. The first one is, well, it's well loved, and the label has completely worn off. At one point in time, it did say the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. Okay, this is in the shade Light. Now, let me tell you, unfortunately, I feel like NYX is discontinuing this product because it was on super sale on the NYX website a month or 2 ago. I don't think they sell this at Ulta anymore either. So, I am devastated. When I saw that it was on sale on the NYX website, I actually bought 2 backups because I love this powder so much, and I am not one to buy backup makeup products. I have Hit Pan, which is very rare, especially in a highlighter for me, but this highlighter, it's a finishing powder actually. It's not meant to be a highlighter, but it gives your skin just the most beautiful, radiant, healthy looking finish. It's not super like highlighty. If you're looking for something just very soft and glowy looking, this is what you need. This I reach for probably the most, especially with wearing masks. I still have to wear a mask at work, so it doesn't make sense for me to have a blending highlight because I do still love a blending highlight. I know that's not as popular right now, but in my heart, on my face, I love me a good blending highlight. It's glorious. And so I have been using this the most because it still gives me that highlight glowy finish look, but above all, it just makes your skin look radiant and healthy and glowy and so beautiful. I love this powder. My second highlighter product, I think this is the Jaclyn Hill mini highlighter in the shade Iced. And I know that Jaclyn and Jaclyn Cosmetics has controversy, but I am here to talk about the makeup and the makeup products. I love this more than I thought that I would. It is that beautiful blinding highlight that I lust for. It does give you that glass shine. It is what I have on my cheeks today. I very often, after doing my highlighter, I'll take a little bit on my finger on a fluffy brush and put a little bit on my brow bone, maybe a little bit on my inner corner. I love this highlighter so much. What I think stands out, because the drugstore makes great highlighters, don't get me wrong. I mean, I just raved all about one that I cannot get enough of, but the thing that I've noticed most with the Jaclyn Cosmetics products, especially the highlighter, I also have her loose powder here, is that I can see how people with textured skin or mature skin would be really drawn to these products because they're so finely milled. They go in, blend into your skin beautifully. They don't enhance texture. They're so beautiful to me. Again, much like mascaras, I've tried many highlighters, but there's something really special about this formula that I just love, and it had to be in my top 3. My last powder highlight to share with you is another product from Undone Beauty. It is their Nonzer, so much like the concealer, it's divided into rows. We've got 4 different shades of highlighter here, and as a bonus, this is a dual purpose product. You can use it as a highlighter, you can use it as an eyeshadow topper, you can use it as like a body shimmer powder. I use it for all 3 and I love it for all 3. I did a whole review video on the Undone Beauty products that I have. I will link it in the description box below for you if you want to check it out. But of the products that I've tried, this as well as their concealer are my favorite. Undone Beauty is a clean beauty brand, and I am not normally attracted to clean beauty brands because I find they don't usually have like the pigmentation, the beautiful shine and color that I'm after when it comes to eyeshadow products and highlighter products. But this, it delivers. It delivers the shine, it delivers the pigmentation. Like I said, these are so pretty as an eyeshadow topper as well as highlighters. They're so beautiful, and you can really build it up to have a really blinding highlight, which I love, or you can lightly dust it on for just a little bit of color shift if you would like. That purple in there is so fun, and I do get compliments every time that I wear it. You know, it is a little bit bold, a little bit out there, but if you're into wearing like the ethereal colored type highlighters, I think you would really enjoy this. But also if you prefer the more pinky gold neutral tone highlighters, I think you would also enjoy this. Next, cream highlighters. The first one I know I've talked about a few times already on this channel. It is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Makeup Highlighter Stick in the shade When the Nude Strikes. This is like $2 or $3. You can get it most anywhere. I've repurchased this so many times. It's such a necessity in my makeup collection. It's just the perfect, beautiful ivory champagne cream highlighter. But usually when I do highlight, I will go in with some sort of cream product and then top it with a highlighter product again, because I love highlighter. I have used this alone, but most often I will use this as sort of like a tacky primer because I've never found cream products to be as long lasting as powder products. So I like using this sort of as like a highlight primer and then going in with the powder highlighter on top, and I find that the two of them together really seal in that beautiful highlight effect all day long. So again, like I said, for the price, and not even for the price, I think this is a very, very beautiful cream highlighter. It's not glittery. It buffs beautifully into the skin to just give you this really dewy, healthy skin glow. Second is the Dominique Cosmetics Skin Gloss in the shade Golden Dew. I've only ever tried the Golden Dew color, but I love this so much. I've hit pan in it. This one gives you more of that glow, whereas this is more of like a champagne-y highlight sheen. I feel this gives you more of a glow. And this specific shade has a beautiful champagne warm golden undertone, of which I normally don't like on my complexion, but this is so subtle. And again, it blends into your skin so beautifully to really truly give you this really luminous glow. No shimmer, no glitter, just pure glow. This is pretty, you know, balmy to apply to your skin, but it dries down beautifully. It stays put. I know this product has been around for a little bit, but I only discovered it this past summer and I love it so much that I've already hit pan in it. So I love this so much. Lastly, when it comes to cream highlighter, I have to talk about the Ritual de Fille, the Alchemist Highlight Intensifier. I very recently did a video talking about Ritual de Fille, the brand, and the sample pack that I purchased from the brand, one of them being the Alchemist highlighter. And it's very, very different than the previous two I just mentioned in that this is sparkly, this is shimmery, this is the highlighter for your highlighters. I love using this on my cheekbones. I've also used it on my eyes as an eyeshadow topper. I will often put a little bit on my brow bone. I've even used it as a highlighter on my neck and shoulders. I actually did it today. I'm not sure if it's being picked up on camera, but I love this so much. If you are a glitter, sparkle, shimmer, all the things lover, I really think you would love this too. Go check out my Ritual de Fille video for more information, but this, I could not talk about cream highlighters without talking about one of my beloved sparkly cream highlighters. This is just everything that I love about sparkles and highlighter in a cream formula. All right, when it comes to face powders, I only have two to share with you. One of them I already mentioned. It is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Luminous Powder in the shade Brighten Up. I also have the shade Do Me. I think I like Brighten Up just a little bit better. Did you hear what I just said? I also have the shade Do Me. And do you remember when I said that I have dry skin? So normally, us dry skin people and powders, especially loose powders, we don't hang out. We don't get along well. We don't hang out in the same crowd. We just don't mesh. I love this powder so much, and very similarly the way that I described the pressed highlighter, I can see why this product, why this formula would be loved by people with textured skin or mature skin, because it's so finely milled. I've never had this make my skin look textured or dry, even if I'm having a bad skin day. This I wouldn't consider to be a setting powder, to be honest. It is like, it's not shimmery, it's not glittery, but it's definitely glowy. I have used it to set underneath my eyes when I do concealer. I actually think I used it today. It does give you a very subtle glow. I don't know that I would use this all over my face for that reason. There has been a lot of times where I use this just as my highlighter because it just does give your skin this beautiful, healthy glow. I would say the NYX High Glass finishing powder that I previously mentioned would be a very, very close dupe to this. Like, it gives your skin that very same glowy finished effect. The only difference being that this formula, as I just said, is so finely milled. It doesn't enhance texture, whereas with the NYX High Glass finishing powder, I think could. And it'll give you that nice glowy effect, but I think you could overdo it to the point where you feel like it's enhancing your texture or enhancing fine lines. Whereas this is just so different in that aspect. It's so smooth on your skin. It's so beautiful. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. I feel like I keep saying the same things over and over again in various different ways, but this powder is so amazing, and the fact that I have 2 full-size pressed powders speaks volumes because I don't get excited about powders. Like I said, I normally don't get along with face powders. I love this that much. The second face powder I have to mention, I no longer have. I might have the empty pan somewhere, but I panned the entire thing, which again speaks volume, I think, to this product. It's the Milani Set Prep and Glow setting powder, I believe. I'll pop it up here on the screen. Yeah, I panned that bad boy till there was nothing left. I've missed it a little bit, and I've thought about repurchasing it. I may still, because it's not terribly expensive, but I'm trying to hold off because again, I have, 2 of these, and I don't use face powders to set my face. I don't use them because I have excessive oil. I don't use them the way I think normal people would. I use them for that glowy luminosity effect, and for the most part, this gives me that. But I did want to talk about the Milani because that one is, much more affordable, and because it's another dry skin friendly face powder that I just wanted to throw out there in case you too have dry skin like myself. Oh my goodness gracious, I think we have come to the end. I have no more makeup before me, so I hope I hit all of the categories. If anything, I definitely added a couple. I hope you enjoyed watching. I know this was a long one. I know I really like to talk. What can I say? I love makeup. You open me up and I start talking about makeup, and it's real hard for me to stop talking, but I tried to keep it short. I tried to share my love in as few words as possible. I would love to hear from you down below. Drop me some of your makeup favorites as of late. And as I said in the intro, stay tuned because I do plan to make one of these top 3 category favorites videos for also skincare and hair care. So I'm excited for those. I think this is a fun way to share a lot of product favorites in a somewhat condensed, short, but not really short format. So stay tuned for those videos to come. I want to thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that you hit the subscribe button so you can come back next time. And until next time, I hope you have the most wonderful day. I'm sweating all of a sudden, just sweating. I don't know if it's the nerves of being in front of the camera. It seems like no matter how much I prepare for a video, as soon as I hit record, everything changes. My mind goes blank. Woo! But I also plan to do videos, one for skincare, top 3 products in each skincare but I also plan to make and also I plan to make videos for leave me a purple heart emoji. Next, let's talk about phone. Just spit. Hi! So come on over. You need to make your regular appearance here. Say hello. You want to give me a kiss on the lips? Come on. Come on. Just this once. Come on, just one time. My goal in life is to give you a kiss right on the lips. Every time.